Alright, so quick explanation of the headlights that I got. They're a little dirty, taking them to work, but so I got the D2S, so it's a different bulb, and I do have a little bit extra wiring here, but technically this is where I connected the iJDM relays. There's the fuse. Here's my ballast back here, hiding. Kind of bolted them onto here, and I'm actually gonna go to the other side. But connect. All you need to connect is power wire for the iJDM harness, and then you have to choose your grounding points, which I extended mine on one of them. So if you can see, it's kind of a cheap job, but it does the trick. I put both of them right there. That's where I grounded it. I did kind of scrape off the metal under this bolt, and that's where I grounded the grounds. And a little quick side note, I ended up actually taking my connector, but if you see it back, can't really get a clear shot. I'm not gonna remove the battery, but the connector is gonna be mounted on that clip right there. You see it? Here, let me try to zoom in. That clip is gonna be holding your DRL connector. You unplug that one and you won't get DRLs anymore. I taped mine just because I did splice it and try to solder it, but it didn't work out for me. So I was trying to get that to feed my halos. But technically speaking, there's a ground loop that goes somewhere behind that. So I wasn't getting beyond that clip. It gets grounded, so I wasn't getting any ground, so it wasn't working. So I ended up just grounding it myself, and then that's this extra wire, and then running one from in here. So that's what you see there. I tapped into the DRL fuse, and now let's go on this side, where it might be a little bit neater. So when you buy your HIDs, it'll come with these two plugs. So they're standard for the ballast. All ballasts usually come with this same two plugs. So if you buy a HID bulb, it'll have those standard plugs. And let's see, what else can I share? That's that. And then there's the two connectors. Let's see if I can find those there a little bit. They're down here. So this is from the iJDM harness, which I brought through here. Let me zoom out a little. So I brought it through here, ran it, and it comes with these two connectors. And one of them is for my high beam, which I ended up splicing and soldering it to a male plug like the one I showed you. And this is the high beam, and this is the one kind of like similar to the ones. This is actually for the shutter. Sorry, this is the cable that comes from the shutter. And in regards to let me get I forgot your screen name right now, but this will be your shutter cables, your power and ground. I forget which one was powered on this one. Maybe we could get it from over here. So brown was power on this one, and white was ground. So I ended up just splicing it in and getting that to work. And then this is for the bulbs. So technically this plugs into the ballast, and then that gives power to this box right here. And then from there you just plug in your bulbs, and it'll be pretty straightforward. Let's see now. Right here's one of the areas where I cracked it. Yeah, it's pretty brittle, so it's not perfect. You know, there's still some gunk on here, but it's covered. I mean, this is not visible from the outside. Yeah, pretty simple. My extra wiring that you see here is for the halos, the shroud halos that I put on, so you don't need to worry about that. But they're pretty simple to wire too. If you need help with that, I can make another video on that. But that's pretty much all I wanted to share. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's just plugging in the harness, which is this. Then you have to have your two ground points, which I grounded that there. And I forget where I grounded it on this side. I'm not gonna lie, it might be somewhere underneath here. I think there was like a ground point somewhere down there. So Since I already have this kind of bolted in place, I don't really want to move it, but there's a bunch of ground points around here, so you could just choose one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's your iJDM harness, and then everything else is, if you have your ballast and your HIDs, it's plug and play. So the hard part is just getting this lined up and all that stuff that goes with it, but you're gonna have to deal with that on your own. All right.